Hi, I'm Susan, and we're going to be making a step book today. And it's named a step book because each page is like a little step. I like to use recycled materials for all my books, and for this one I'm using paper that has writing on one side only. But because the book uses both sides of the paper, I'm going to glue two of them together. So I'm going to take one of them that has the writing facing up. I'm going to put glue along that side all around the edges. Then I'm going to set the other one on top with the writing facing it, and this way I will create a piece of paper that is blank on both sides. I'm going to line it up as best I can here, and then I'll go ahead and smooth it all down. Now, I've prepared 2 sheets already, so I'm going to be using 3 pieces of paper for this book altogether. And what I want to do is arrange them into the steps. So if you look here, I've got each one of these, step is about the same distance. Then I'm going to lift the whole thing up, turn it over, and bend this back, and now I'm going to create my whole series of steps. This one uses 3 sheets of paper. The more sheets of paper you use, the skinnier your steps will be. And before I crease it, I want to look and make sure that they all seem like they're equal. And I like the way this looks. This is good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and crease it. So now I have my pages all set up. What I need to do is to do something to hold it together. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be punching 2 holes, one on each side, right along the crease here at the top, and then tying it together. I usually, if I were doing this myself, or I'm doing it with older kids, they're able to hold it pretty well themselves. But if I were doing it with younger kids, I would actually put a clip on either side here to hold it together to make it a little easier. Now I've got my fold right here. I'm going to take the punch, and I'm going to push the punch in as far as it will go, and I'm going to then punch it. The reason I push it in as far as it will go is I find a lot of the kids, they always want to punch really close to the edge, and then you end up with a situation where it tears really easily. So I find that by giving them that direction, that seems to solve that problem. Now I'm going to use for my ties, I'm going to be using some strips of plastic bag. I've also used yarn in the past, but now I'm on my major recycling kick, so I'm going to use a strip that I cut from a plastic bag. It's going to be hard to poke this piece into here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist it a little bit, but then I'm going to make a loop, and what I'm actually putting into the hole is going to be the loop rather than the end of it. I'll push the loop in, pull it through, and then I'm going to go ahead and hold the 2 edges and tie 1 knot, and then go ahead and tie a 2nd knot. And if you use yarn, I find that that loop way of doing it is a good idea for that as well. So again, I've got this here. I'm going to take it, give it a little bit of a twist, and then make a loop and push the loop into it. Pull the edges out and tie it. My one suggestion is that if you do use a plastic bag, I would make a test version first, because some plastic bags are better than others, and if you pull it too hard, you might cause it to tear. Take my clips off, bend my pages back, and here I have my book with the steps all ready to put the content in. The step book is a good book to do because the pages grow, the pages get bigger as you open them. So I like to do it for all kinds of things that have a concept of getting larger. This is a book I did that was in my book, Making Books for Young Learners, that has sizes. So we have small, medium, and then large. And this book uses 2 sheets of paper, so there are 4 pages altogether. I have another similar book I did as a counting book. This is one with a Korean counting book, and as you open each, there's number 1, and you have one thing. I use stickers to do the illustrations. You could also draw pictures, and it goes through the numbers 10. For this, I used an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper cut in half the long way, so I had longer, skinnier pages. And these were done before I made my conversion to recycled materials. So the next 2 I have to show you do use recycled materials. This is one that uses the same model that we just made. This is, I call it a Where in the World Am I book. This is your name, and then I've used the school that you're at, but you could also do your address, the city it's in, the state, province, the country, and the planet. So this gives kids a sense of where that their world kind of grows around them, and the differences in the sizes. And then the last one I have to show you is one called, that I did, I forced some narcissus bulbs, and I did this to keep a record of the growing of. For this one I used a grocery bag, the side panels of the grocery bag cut in half. They have a fold in them, so I used the two sides from each. So there are 4 pages altogether. For the ties, I used, these came from plastic from a bag the bananas came in. The narcissus have the green leaves and the white flowers, the paper whites, so I wanted to keep the kind of green and white theme going. So we have narcissus here on the top, that's the heading. This is day 1. There's just the teeniest little bit of green sticking up. Day 5, we have just a little bit of green coming up. Day 15, we have a bud, some buds starting to form in here. Day 25, we've got still some buds, but a few flowers. And then day 30, the thing is completely in bloom. So I hope that you enjoy making your step book, and I'll see you next time.